Yo, back into it. For the better update yous, Rx7's got front suspension and steering in it now. Crappy old wheels I found out the back. And here's our rear suspension clip I went to pick apart and cut up the other day. Check that out, it's got all our leaves. Gonna get creative mounting that in the bum next. Just a real quick shout out to the bro RX for life as well. Didn't think you want me to use your name, bro. Hooked me up those camber tops for the Sev. I'll put those in at a later date. For now, we'll just get this thing moving around. I'll definitely use these at some stage. And also, I'd like to do a real quick shout out to the bro Hugh Saunders. He's donated cash a few times now. I really appreciate it, Hugh. That's really good of you. I don't have a Patreon or nothing like that, but all the subscribers and people viewing the videos, that all helps. But can't thank you enough, Hugh. That's really cool of you to do that, bro. Thank you very much. All right. Not sure where I'm up to on my videos. I've been slacking. But you'll see behind me, one ute chassis that already fits our diff, and a floor of an Rx7 that we're going to make this shoehorn into and fit. Follow along to see how this works. So I turned it around the other day in the rain, so I couldn't film that. Didn't want to get my camera wet. But I've worked out, I'm going to end up cutting that old bump stop mount off, cutting some of this out and some of that floor out, and this is going to start coming up into there. I'm not going to film all of it, so I've just got a few couple of hours spare, so I'm just going to do this real quick now. I'll show you when it starts kind of like joining in. I've already cut off some of the shock suspension mounts, cab mounts. Bit hoary, I know, but so it's wider than the Rx7, so I'm hoping I can kind of work around the 7 chassis. That was me yesterday, up in here with the saw. You know, I love these fucking things, eh? So I've cut some windows out of there. Managed to slide it through yay far. It's starting to bottom out in here. Need to go forward a couple more inches. It's basically been a matter of just eye it up and cut away what needs to be cut out. But I've fluked it on this chassis clip fitting in here. It looks like it's the Rx7 chassis is going to either just sit on top. So I should just be able to weld some brackets off it to stitch it together. But that back crossy of the ute looks like it's going to sit right up to the rear Rx7 kind of crossy. And there's a bar in here, you can't see it. I'll try to get a shot of it later. That's going to come forward a little bit more. And I think if I put that right on that arch, it's kind of fitting in the shell quite neat. So what I'll do now is I'll cut a bit more away in here and inch it forward a couple more inches. You can see that bar. It's fouling the spare tyre well, so I want to slip that forward a little bit more and kind of see what I've done here. So let's just try and, the whole reason why I've done this is because those were already all cut away and gone. Excuse the stability, I had to turn it off for the light to, you can kind of see the ute chassis sitting just on the outside of the Rx7 clip. We might cut that bump stop away, but if we don't need to, I'm not going to. Oh, you didn't see that? I just threw it and caught it. Let's get dangerous. Oh, fuck, I didn't put a battery in it. That's get dangerous. Fuck yeah. Problem with these blades is they're expensive. So yesterday I got it through to about here, but I think it needs to come up to over here. So she's coming slowly, but I don't want to just cut too much out. Ignore those real butchery cuts. I had a real harsh blade on there, had the wrong blade on there. Ignore that, don't look at that bit. Saber saw's way faster, but it just seems to wreck more shit. The air hacksaw's got a bit more finesse, but the poor old compressor can't keep up. I've had it for like 20 years. Oh, sorry about the fence, I don't have time to take it down today. This YouTube stuff's got to be done on the spare time, not the work time. Too risky fire with this. Save it as the last resort. Way faster. Oh, it should fit now. Just gonna make room for the tube at the back. So I've got a bit to come through here, but the biggest problem I've got is here, the tube underneath. I have to decide what to do with that. Right, so it's getting there, but that bar is now hitting the original Rx7 chassis rail. I was going to cut the chassis on the Rx7. I notched it out for that tube to slide into, so the bar stays underneath. But what I'm thinking about doing is welding a jig inside the car now, or not inside the car, sorry, from chassis rail to chassis rail on the U-clip, welding a brace in there and then cutting that bar out altogether, leaving enough behind to weld to the Rx7 chassis maybe. I've got it sitting real even through here, and I've got an even measurement here at the bump stop. So as long as this point and that point over here is the same on both sides, and these are even, I'm going to be quite happy with this. The back will be really deceiving. These points up here where the floor is good will be more honest. But what I'll end up with is I'll tack a brace from here over to there before I cut that tube out, so that measurement doesn't change. And then I've got something to help me pull it forward and pull it in the car. Anyway, by the time it's all braced in here and all welded to the floor of the Rx7, we'll just probably cut that brace away. And let me know what you think in the comments. Could even end up with another one where it comes through the floor going across the tunnel. That'll probably work quite well too. But this will probably be, oh, hang on a sec. Alright, so this will probably be the last bit of that video, I guess, because we're going to Jambo in Aussie. So if you're watching this, it's Thursday night in New Zealand. Me and Bill are off to Australia again. This is like a bonus clip, let you guys know what I'm up to. I'd love to cut that tube out before I go, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time. And if I rush it, I'll probably bugger it up. So now I've got it in my head. While I'm away, I can think about it. I'm only away for a week, but I'll see how I go. I might sneak back later and brace it and cut it out, but I just don't know if I'll get time. I haven't even packed my bag. We're off to see some of the fastest drag cars in Australia. Shout out to Premier Events for helping us out when we're over there. What else? I have a couple of shirts of me to flog off. Whole another week with Bill. This is going to be hard. I had a shave. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that RX3 vid. If you don't know about that car, that vid I posted last night, go back and watch the video from about 5 months ago where I pulled the engine out. Done a whole lot of work to that car. Had the gearbox out, fixed the gearbox mount. Done a motor for it. I've got a friend to build a motor for it. I just chucked it in because I'm so busy building YouTube cars now. Who would have thought? It's a crack up. But anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers for the support. Looking forward to bringing you the content from Jambo. Thanks heaps for everything. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It all helps. Te meke. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Back into the RX7 vlog. It's Tuesday, just after Jambo. So this video is just a mashup of whenever I could work on this car. You know, I just do it in spare time when I got no jobs on. But anyway, yesterday I just wanted to get into it. Didn't really do much filming, so I thought I'd just give you a quick progress report. I've notched those rails behind me for the tube to slide into. They're about half the way in. I'll get a shot of that in a sec. Just got to I kept them tight, so I just got to cut them a bit more. Just need to keep trimming. I'm trying not to be too greedy and cut too much away, really. Sorry if it's a bit shaky. It's on reverse mode. But try not to talk about Jambo too much, but that's going to be hard. So I cut a big hole in that chassis rail, and then I just keyholed it and cut down both ends. Kind of see there, maybe. Well, yeah, look, I've got it halfway in. Hopefully that wasn't strobing out. The stabilizer requires more light. Anyway, goal is now trim that back a bit more, because I think it's snagging in there. You can see now I've got a pretty good tight finger on here. And also, if you've got a real keen eye, you'll notice that pin on the leaf is almost halfway in the wheel arch now. And that's what I need. The bum's still got to come up, which will probably drag it back a bit. So I think I'll still push it forward a bit more. You can see here, I cut that out before I left. And now I've got it almost sitting a lot higher. That side's come through and it's pretty even on that front beam. So there'll be some more steel welded in there. May have to pinch a motor out of one of the cars to get this build finished in time. This is the setup I've got going on. Got my jack under there, strop the whole tension and pull it in as we go. See what we can see in here. You can kind of see there where that cross tube is. That's a pretty good shot of that, actually. And it gives you an idea of what I was up to yesterday. So this end will come up as well. Had to re-weld that one because I started cutting that off at the wreckers, but then I came up with this master plan to just take the whole thing and graft the half clip in like its own subframe. Alright, so far so good. This side's actually a bit better. Look, the light. You can actually see in there better. I should have filmed this side. Duh. So for some of you are thinking, we should have braced the car and welded some steel in there. I braced the car with a strop. That goes up to the windscreen there. She's all good, baby, baby. So that's some of my hand tools that I've used to get this in there. Clamps, crowbar, drill, big hammer, little hammer, bottle jack, grinder. Had to go back to my air saw because I got no blades for my skills awl, my saber saw, and cut off wheel as well. Measuring tape to check a couple of things. Everything's within 3 to 5 mil. I'm happy with that. But yeah, that's some of the basic tools. That's some of the basic tools I've used to do this. So I thought I'd show you this side because it seems to have more light. But I've got that tube sitting in there now. I've got it sitting on the bump stop on that side. I've got it pretty even in the wheel arch now. Got my strops pulling it up into place. And this side's the same on the bump stop. There's a couple of mil here and there different, but she'll be right.